Have you ever noticed your steps becoming slower? Those mornings when you wake up, and it feels like your legs want to stay in bed? This feeling creeps up slowly, and before you know it, you realize that one day, standing up or climbing the stairs won't be as easy anymore. What you might not know is that you could be losing something incredibly vital to your health right now, your muscle mass. Welcome to today's video, where we'll explore an important issue that often goes unnoticed: sarcopenia, or muscle loss in older adults. Together, we'll uncover how our muscles gradually deteriorate over time, and most importantly, how you can stop it. In this video, you'll learn why sarcopenia happens and how to spot the early signs, the key vitamins and nutrients that can help you maintain strong muscles, even in your 70s. Simple yet incredibly effective habits to keep your muscles strong, ensuring you can maintain your independence. But before we dive into the solutions, let me share a small story with you. It's a story about an older friend of mine, someone who faced similar challenges but found a way to overcome them. And that story could be yours too, if you choose to take action today. Feel free to leave a question or share your thoughts about sarcopenia and muscle health in the comments below. Let's create a community where we can learn, share, and grow stronger together. Imagine being able to regain the strength and independence of your younger days, even when you're over 70. In this video, I'll show you exactly how to make that happen. Now, let's dive into what sarcopenia really is and why it's affecting you more than you might think. Stay tuned. As we age, there's one thing that happens to almost all of us. Even if we don't notice it right away, we start to lose muscle mass. But this isn't just about getting a bit weaker. It's a gradual, silent process that can significantly impact our quality of life. This process is called sarcopenia. Sarcopenia is the medical term for the age-related loss of muscle mass and strength. It typically starts around the age of 30, but it's usually not noticeable until later in life, around 60 or 70. By the time we reach our 80s, we can lose up to 40% of our muscle mass. And the scary part is that this muscle loss can happen without us even realizing it. It happens so gradually that we often assume it's just a natural part of getting older. Let me paint you a picture. Think about someone you know, maybe a parent or a grandparent, who used to love walking or gardening but has started avoiding those activities. Maybe they complain about their legs feeling tired or weak, or they find themselves out of breath more often. You might chalk it up to getting older, but in reality, it could be a sign of sarcopenia. They aren't just getting old, they're losing muscle mass. I once worked with an elderly woman named Margaret. At 72, she was a vibrant, independent woman, always walking her dog and keeping up with her gardening. But over the course of a year, she started feeling more fatigued, and simple tasks, like climbing the stairs, became difficult. She thought it was just part of aging, but when she saw her doctor, they discovered she had lost a significant amount of muscle mass without realizing it. This was sarcopenia, quietly stealing her strength. Now, here's the important lesson: sarcopenia isn't inevitable. It's a condition that can be slowed, or even reversed, with the right steps. Margaret's doctor recommended a combination of exercise, nutrition, and supplements, and over the next few months, she regained strength and energy that she hadn't felt in years. It wasn't magic, it was a plan to fight back against the muscle loss. So, while sarcopenia is a common issue for seniors, it's something we can actively manage. By understanding what it is, recognizing its early signs, and taking action, we can keep our muscles strong and prevent the loss of independence. In the next section, we'll dive deeper into why muscle loss happens in the first place. Understanding the causes will help you better fight sarcopenia and stay active longer. But before that, think about this: when was the last time you checked in with your muscles? Let's take a moment to appreciate the strength they provide, and let's move on to how we can preserve them for years to come. Imagine this: you're eating healthy, getting some exercise, and yet, you're still feeling weaker, more fatigued than usual. You might be wondering, what's going on? The truth is, sometimes it's not just about how much you're eating or how much you're moving. It could be about what your body is missing. One of the most surprising causes of muscle loss, especially as we age, is vitamin deficiencies. These vitamins and nutrients, while essential to our overall health, play a huge role in keeping our muscles strong. And when we're deficient in them, it can speed up the process of muscle breakdown. Let's talk about two key vitamins that often fly under the radar but are crucial for muscle health: vitamin D and vitamin B12. We all know that vitamin D is important for our bones. But did you know it's just as important for your muscles? Vitamin D helps muscles function properly by aiding calcium absorption. Without enough vitamin D, your muscles struggle to work as they should, which can lead to weakness and even muscle atrophy over time. I remember working with John, a 68-year-old man who had been feeling progressively weaker. Simple tasks like getting out of his chair or walking to the mailbox became exhausting. Despite a fairly active lifestyle, his muscles just didn't seem to respond the way they used to. After some blood tests, it turned out John had a significant vitamin D deficiency. His doctor recommended supplementation, and within weeks, John started feeling stronger. He could walk longer distances, and even climbing stairs felt easier. The lesson here is simple: vitamin D isn't just for bone health, it's for muscle strength too. Next, let's talk about vitamin B12. This one is particularly important for nerve function, and it has a direct impact on your muscle health. Without enough B12, the communication between your brain and your muscles can break down, leading to weakness, lack of coordination, and even muscle atrophy. I recall a woman named Helen who had been feeling like she just couldn't get through the day without extreme fatigue. She had trouble even picking up her groceries. At first, she thought it was just part of aging, but after some tests, it was discovered she was severely deficient in B12. After starting B12 supplements, Helen noticed a dramatic difference. Her energy levels improved, her muscles felt stronger, and she regained the confidence to take walks around her neighborhood again. Helen's story is a good reminder that muscle loss isn't just about age. Sometimes it's a matter of missing essential vitamins that are easy to replenish. Here's the thing: deficiencies in both vitamin D and B12 are extremely common among seniors, yet they often go unnoticed. Over 40% of older adults are deficient in vitamin D, and up to 30% are deficient in B12. These deficiencies don't always show obvious symptoms, but they can still wreak havoc on your muscle strength. The lesson here? A lot of the muscle weakness we experience as we get older isn't just about getting old, it's about the nutrients our bodies need to stay strong. So, if you're noticing muscle weakness or fatigue, it might be time to have a simple blood test to check for these deficiencies. The great news is that both vitamin D and B12 are easy to supplement, and doing so can make a world of difference in how you feel. In the next section, we'll take a closer look at another key nutrient, coenzyme Q10, CoQ10. This often overlooked compound plays a significant role in muscle health and is another powerful ally in the fight against sarcopenia. Stay tuned as we explore why CoQ10 is essential for your muscles and how it can help you regain strength. Have you ever felt like your body just doesn't have the energy it used to? That fatigue, even after a good night's sleep? Or maybe you notice your muscles feeling weaker than before, as if they take longer to recover after exertion. It's a frustrating experience, especially when you're trying to stay active and independent. But here's the twist: what if the problem isn't just about age? What if it's a nutrient your body needs, but isn't getting enough of? Meet coenzyme Q10, or CoQ10, a nutrient that doesn't always get the attention it deserves, but one that's absolutely vital for muscle health. CoQ10 is a compound that plays a critical role in the production of energy within our cells, particularly in our muscles. You can think of CoQ10 as the fuel for your muscles, helping them generate the energy they need to function properly. It's found in the mitochondria of your cells, the tiny powerhouses that convert food into energy. Without CoQ10, your body struggles to produce this energy efficiently, leading to muscle weakness, fatigue, and slower recovery after exercise. As we get older, our natural CoQ10 levels decline. In fact, by the time you reach your 60s, your CoQ10 levels may drop by up to 65%. This significant decrease can contribute to the muscle weakness and tiredness many seniors experience. Let me share the story of Tom, a man in his early 70s, who loved to walk every morning. For years, he walked miles around his neighborhood, but recently, he'd started feeling exhausted even after a short walk. His legs felt heavy, and he couldn't shake the fatigue. Tom didn't think much of it at first. Like many of us, he assumed it was just part of getting older. But after visiting his doctor, it turned out that he had a CoQ10 deficiency. Tom's doctor recommended CoQ10 supplementation, and within just a couple of weeks, he started noticing a difference. His energy levels increased, and his muscle strength began to improve. Tom was able to return to his walks without the heavy fatigue he once felt. He realized that his muscle health wasn't just about getting older, it was about giving his body the nutrients it needed to keep moving. Tom's story teaches us an important lesson: the natural decline in CoQ10 can go unnoticed, but it's something that can be easily addressed. By supplementing CoQ10, we can restore some of the energy our muscles need to function at their best. This isn't just about feeling better, it's about regaining the strength and vitality that allow us to maintain our independence. Now, you might be wondering, how does CoQ10 really help with muscle function? Well, CoQ10 supports the mitochondria, the part of our cells responsible for producing energy, ATP. When we don't have enough CoQ10, the mitochondria can't work as efficiently, which means less energy for our muscles. As a result, we feel weaker, and our muscles can't recover as quickly. And here's the kicker: many commonly prescribed medications, like statins for cholesterol, actually lower CoQ10 levels in the body. This means that the very medications meant to improve our heart health could be contributing to muscle weakness and fatigue. It's a frustrating cycle that can be difficult to break, but CoQ10 supplementation is a powerful way to combat this side effect. What's exciting is that clinical studies have shown that CoQ10 supplementation can significantly improve muscle function in seniors. In one study, participants who took CoQ10 supplements for just 14 days experienced a noticeable improvement in their daily activities, things like climbing stairs, carrying groceries, and walking without feeling exhausted. In fact, 87% of study participants saw significant improvements in their muscle strength. This is why CoQ10 is so important for maintaining muscle health as we age. It's not just a nice-to-have nutrient, it's essential for keeping our muscles strong and our energy levels high. The takeaway here is simple: don't overlook CoQ10. If you're feeling more fatigued or noticing your muscles aren't as strong as they once were, CoQ10 could be the missing piece. By supplementing with CoQ10, you can give your muscles the energy they need to stay strong and healthy. And in doing so, you can regain the energy and strength that help you maintain your independence and live the active life you deserve. In the next section, we'll look at another essential nutrient, vitamin D, and how it works hand in hand with CoQ10 to support muscle function. But first, think about your own energy levels and muscle strength. Could CoQ10 be the key to unlocking more vitality in your daily life? You've probably heard a lot about vitamin D in relation to bone health, but did you know that it's just as crucial for keeping your muscles strong? For many of us, the importance of vitamin D is often overlooked, especially when it comes to its direct impact on muscle strength. But here's the thing: when your vitamin D levels drop, your muscles start to suffer, too. Vitamin D does more than just help your body absorb calcium. It plays a key role in muscle function. It helps activate receptors on your muscle cells, which enables them to respond to signals that trigger muscle contractions. Simply put, without enough vitamin D, your muscles become weaker and less responsive. I met Linda, a 70-year-old woman who was beginning to feel like she couldn't keep up with her grandchildren anymore. She had always been active, walking, gardening, and taking care of her home, but recently, she noticed she was struggling to get out of bed in the morning, and her legs felt heavy. After visiting her doctor, she discovered she had low levels of vitamin D. Her doctor recommended vitamin D supplements, and after a few weeks, Linda began to notice a difference. Her muscles felt stronger, and she could keep up with her grandkids again. It wasn't a miracle, it was simply restoring the nutrient her body needed. Linda's story teaches us an important lesson: vitamin D is not just for bone health, it's essential for muscle strength, too. If you're feeling weaker or more fatigued, it could be a sign that your vitamin D levels are low. The good news? It's easy to get your levels back on track with the right supplementation and a little time in the sun. One of the most concerning aspects of muscle weakness in older adults is the increased risk of falls. A simple fall can lead to serious injuries, such as fractures or broken bones, which can drastically impact your quality of life. In fact, studies have shown that seniors who have low levels of vitamin D are more likely to experience falls. But here's something incredible: research shows that supplementing with vitamin D can reduce the risk of falls by up to 20%. That's a big difference, especially considering how one fall can lead to a domino effect of health problems. Let's talk about Greg, a 75-year-old man who had been falling more frequently, even in his own home. He had started to avoid activities like going for walks or even visiting friends because he was afraid of falling. After a blood test revealed that his vitamin D levels were low, his doctor suggested he take vitamin D supplements. Within months, Greg noticed his balance improved, and he was able to walk confidently again. He even started taking the stairs at home instead of avoiding them. Greg's story reminds us how something as simple as a vitamin D deficiency can have a profound impact on our daily lives. You might be wondering, why does vitamin D affect muscles so much? Well, vitamin D works in tandem with calcium, which is critical for muscle contractions. Without adequate vitamin D, your muscles can't use calcium properly, which means they're not able to contract efficiently. This leads to weakness, cramps, and slower recovery after physical activity. This is why seniors are especially vulnerable to muscle weakness if they're not getting enough vitamin D. As we age, our skin becomes less efficient at producing vitamin D from sunlight, and our dietary intake often isn't enough to meet our needs. That's why supplementation is often necessary. The key takeaway here is simple: don't neglect vitamin D. If you're feeling more fatigued or noticing muscle weakness, it might be time to check your vitamin D levels. Supplementing with vitamin D could be the boost your muscles need to stay strong and healthy, and it can also help reduce the risk of falls, something that's especially important as we age. Now that we've covered the role of vitamin D, let's move on to another essential nutrient, vitamin B12. This vitamin plays a crucial role in nerve function and muscle health. We'll explore why so many seniors are deficient in B12 and how it could be affecting your muscle strength. Stay tuned. You may have heard about vitamin B12 before, especially when it comes to energy levels and brain health. But did you know that vitamin B12 is also a key player when it comes to muscle function? Just like vitamin D, B12 is often overlooked, but it can have a huge impact on your ability to stay strong and mobile as you age. Vitamin B12 plays a crucial role in nerve health and muscle function. It helps in the production of red blood cells, which carry oxygen to your muscles, allowing them to function properly. Without enough B12, your muscles can't get the oxygen they need to perform well, which leads to fatigue, weakness, and difficulty with coordination. What's even more concerning is that as we age, our ability to absorb vitamin B12 decreases. The stomach's acid production decreases with age, which affects the body's ability to absorb vitamin B12 from food. This is why seniors are particularly at risk for B12 deficiency, even if they maintain a healthy diet. Let me share a story about Margaret, a 73-year-old woman who had been feeling increasingly weak and unsteady on her feet. She couldn't even carry her groceries without feeling out of breath. She thought it was just part of aging, but her daughter, who's a nurse, noticed how much her balance had been slipping and suggested they check her vitamin B12 levels. After a simple blood test, it turned out Margaret had a severe B12 deficiency. Her doctor recommended B12 supplementation, and within a few weeks, Margaret started feeling stronger. Her balance improved, and she could carry groceries without needing a break. She even started walking around her neighborhood again. Margaret's story shows us how easily a B12 deficiency can sneak up on you and impact your muscle function, but it also shows that replenishing it can make a world of difference. Here's how it works. B12 is essential for maintaining the myelin sheath that surrounds your nerves. This sheath helps to transmit electrical signals between your brain and muscles. When your B12 levels are low, the myelin sheath can break down, and this disrupts communication between your brain and muscles. The result? Muscle weakness, difficulty with coordination, and even tremors. The problem is, these symptoms are often mistaken for normal signs of aging, so many people don't realize they're suffering from a B12 deficiency. In fact, research shows that up to 30% of seniors are deficient in vitamin B12, yet many of them remain undiagnosed because the symptoms develop so gradually. Margaret's experience teaches us an important lesson. Muscle weakness and coordination problems aren't always just a part of getting older. Sometimes, it's a sign of a vitamin deficiency that can be easily corrected. By paying attention to your B12 levels, you can keep your muscles functioning at their best and avoid unnecessary declines in strength and mobility. So, how do you make sure you're getting enough vitamin B12? The first step is to get your levels checked by a healthcare provider, especially if you're experiencing symptoms like fatigue, weakness, or coordination problems. If you're found to be deficient, B12 supplements can quickly bring your levels back to normal. B12 is naturally found in animal products like meat, fish, eggs, and dairy. However, if you're following a plant-based diet or have difficulty absorbing nutrients, you may need to take supplements or consider B12 injections. Your doctor can recommend the best option for you based on your individual needs. The lesson here is simple: don't ignore your B12 levels. It's easy to dismiss muscle weakness as just part of aging, but it could be a sign of something more. By addressing a B12 deficiency, you can restore muscle strength and maintain better coordination, ultimately preserving your independence. Now that we've explored the importance of B12, let's move on to another key nutrient that plays a huge role in keeping your muscles strong: vitamin C. In the next section, we'll look at how vitamin C not only boosts your immune system but also plays a vital role in maintaining muscle health as you age. Stay tuned. When we talk about muscle health, most people immediately think about exercise and vitamins. But there's another crucial element that often gets overlooked in the fight against sarcopenia: protein. Yes, protein isn't just for bodybuilders, it's an essential nutrient for maintaining muscle mass and strength, especially as we age. Protein is made up of amino acids, which are the building blocks for muscle tissue. Every time you exercise, your muscles go through tiny tears and repairs, and it's the protein in your diet that helps to rebuild and strengthen those muscles. Without enough protein, your body can't repair muscle tissue properly, and over time, that leads to muscle loss. Now, this is particularly important for seniors. As we age, our muscles become more prone to breakdown, and our bodies become less efficient at using protein. This is why it's so important to make sure you're getting enough protein in your diet, especially if you're concerned about sarcopenia. I remember a man named Bill, who was in his early 70s and lived alone. Bill was always active, he loved gardening, going for walks, and even did a little DIY around the house. But over the years, he started feeling weaker, especially after doing any physical activity. Simple tasks like bending down to pick up something or carrying groceries became difficult. Bill thought it was just part of getting older, but his daughter, who is a nutritionist, suggested that he might not be getting enough protein in his diet. Bill had always eaten a balanced diet, but when his daughter took a closer look, she realized that he wasn't consuming enough protein-rich foods. She encouraged him to add more lean meats, eggs, and beans into his meals. She also suggested some protein shakes to supplement his intake. After a couple of months, Bill noticed a huge difference. He had more energy, his muscles felt stronger, and he could keep up with his gardening and walks again without feeling wiped out. It wasn't magic, it was simply the power of protein helping to rebuild his muscles. Bill's story teaches us an important lesson. Protein is essential for muscle maintenance, especially as we age. While exercise is important, without the right nutrition, you won't be able to keep your muscles as strong as they need to be. If you're feeling weaker or noticing muscle loss, it could be a sign that your protein intake isn't sufficient. So, how much protein do you need to prevent sarcopenia? The general recommendation for seniors is around 1.0 to 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day. For example, if you weigh 70 kilograms, about 154 pounds, you would need around 70 to 84 grams of protein each day. But here's the catch: many seniors aren't getting enough protein in their diets. Research has shown that up to 50% of older adults consume less than the recommended amount of protein, which can contribute to muscle loss. So, it's not just about adding more protein to your diet, it's about making sure you're consistently hitting your protein goals. Here are some great sources of protein that you can add to your diet. Lean meats: chicken, turkey, and lean cuts of beef and pork. Fish, salmon, tuna, and other fatty fish are packed with protein and healthy fats. Eggs, one of the most complete sources of protein. Legumes, beans, lentils, and peas are excellent plant-based protein options. Dairy, milk, yogurt, and cheese are rich in protein and calcium. Nuts and seeds: almonds, walnuts, chia seeds, and flax seeds are great protein-packed snacks. If you're struggling to get enough protein from food, protein supplements like shakes or bars can also help. Just be sure to choose high-quality products that provide all the essential amino acids your muscles need. The lesson here is simple: don't underestimate the power of protein. It's one of the most effective ways to preserve your muscle mass as you age and prevent sarcopenia. By making sure you're eating enough protein each day, you're giving your muscles the fuel they need to stay strong and healthy. Next, we'll look at another important nutrient in the fight against sarcopenia: exercise. While protein is essential for muscle building, exercise is what helps keep your muscles active and engaged. Let's dive into the best types of exercise for seniors to fight muscle loss and improve strength. We've talked about vitamins and protein, but there's another powerful tool in the fight against sarcopenia that doesn't come in a pill or a shake: it's exercise. Yes, regular physical activity is one of the most effective ways to preserve and even rebuild muscle mass as we age. But here's the thing: it's not just about lifting heavy weights or running marathons. Exercise, when done the right way, can help reverse muscle loss and improve overall strength, mobility, and independence. As we age, our muscles naturally start to weaken, but the good news is that exercise can slow down, stop, and even reverse this process. Specifically, strength training, also known as resistance training, helps stimulate muscle growth by challenging your muscles to work against resistance, whether that's your body weight, dumbbells, resistance bands, or machines. When you engage in strength training, your muscles experience tiny tears. But don't worry, that's a good thing. Your body repairs these tears and builds your muscles back stronger, a process called muscle hypertrophy. For older adults, even light resistance exercises can promote this process, helping rebuild muscle and prevent further loss. Let me share the story of Charles, a 70-year-old man who had been feeling weaker every day. Charles loved to walk and hike, but as he got older, he noticed his legs weren't as strong. Climbing stairs felt like a chore, and he avoided carrying groceries because it left him feeling exhausted. At first, Charles thought it was just a part of aging, but after visiting his doctor, he was encouraged to try resistance exercises, such as squats and leg presses, to strengthen his muscles. In the beginning, Charles wasn't sure if it would work. He started with very light weights, just a few repetitions, and focused on proper form. Over time, Charles gradually increased his weight and repetitions. After just a few weeks, he started noticing a difference. His legs felt stronger, climbing stairs became easier, and he had more energy. Within a few months, he was back to hiking with his friends, and he couldn't believe how much stronger he felt. The lesson from Charles's story is clear: it's never too late to start exercising. Even if you've been sedentary for a while, gentle strength training can make a huge difference in your muscle strength, mobility, and overall quality of life. Now, You might be wondering, what kind of exercises should I be doing? The good news is that there are plenty of options, and you don't have to be a gym expert to get started. Here are some great exercises for seniors to combat muscle loss. Bodyweight exercises. Squats, great for strengthening your legs and hips. Start with air squats, without weights, and over time, you can add resistance. Lunges, excellent for balance and leg strength. You can start with small steps and use a chair or wall for support if needed. Push-ups, you can modify these by doing them on your knees or against a wall to build upper body strength. Resistance band exercises. Bicep curls, using a resistance band can help you work your arms without needing heavy dumbbells. Chest presses, this targets your chest and arms, helping to keep your upper body strong. Light dumbbells or weights. Dumbbell rows, these strengthen your back and shoulders, important for posture and preventing injury. Dumbbell deadlifts, these work your legs, hips, and lower back, areas that tend to weaken with age. Walking and cardio. While strength training is key, don't forget to add cardiovascular exercise to the mix. Walking, cycling, and swimming are all great ways to keep your heart healthy and support your muscle function. The lesson here is simple. Exercise is one of the most effective tools to combat sarcopenia and maintain muscle strength as you age. Strength training doesn't have to be intimidating, and it doesn't require a gym membership or heavy weights. Even starting with a few simple exercises at home can make a huge difference in your strength and independence. As you continue with your exercise journey, remember this: consistency is key. You don't need to push yourself to the limit every day, but sticking to a regular routine will help you stay strong and resilient, no matter your age. Now that we've covered the importance of exercise, let's move on to another crucial component in maintaining muscle health: a balanced diet. In the next section, we'll discuss how the right nutrients, along with exercise, can work together to preserve your muscle mass for years to come. When it comes to keeping our muscles strong as we age, it's easy to think that just one thing, like exercise, diet, or supplements, will be the magic bullet. But the truth is, maintaining muscle health requires a holistic approach that combines all three: a balanced diet, regular exercise, and proper supplementation. These three elements work together to help us preserve and even rebuild muscle mass, keeping us strong, independent, and active as we grow older. A good diet is the foundation of any healthy lifestyle, and it's especially important when it comes to muscle health. The foods you eat provide your body with the nutrients it needs to rebuild and maintain muscle tissue. We've already talked about the importance of protein, but it's not just protein that matters. Vitamins and minerals play a huge role in supporting muscle function and recovery, and a well-rounded diet ensures you're getting all of the nutrients your muscles need to thrive. Let's look at Sarah, for example. Sarah, a 68-year-old retiree, had always enjoyed gardening and taking walks, but over time, she began to feel more and more fatigued. She knew she wasn't eating poorly, but her energy levels and strength were just not where they used to be. After talking with her doctor, Sarah learned she wasn't eating enough of the right nutrients to support muscle health. She was low on vitamin D and protein. Sarah's doctor helped her revamp her diet, focusing on lean proteins, healthy fats, and fiber from fruits and vegetables. She also added foods rich in vitamin D, such as salmon, fortified cereals, and spinach. Within just a few weeks, Sarah felt a noticeable improvement in her energy levels and muscle strength. She could now bend down to tend to her garden without feeling out of breath, and she even started to walk longer distances without fatigue. The lesson here is simple: the right diet fuels your body, helping you build and maintain muscle strength. Exercise is the next essential piece of the puzzle. As we've discussed earlier, strength training is a key factor in reversing muscle loss. But what's even more powerful is combining exercise with the right diet. Exercise helps to stimulate your muscles, while the right nutrition helps your body repair and build those muscles stronger. Together, they form a dynamic duo. Take the story of Jack, a 72-year-old man who had been living a fairly sedentary lifestyle. Jack wasn't overweight, but his muscle tone had diminished over the years, and he had trouble keeping up with his grandkids. One day, his doctor encouraged him to start a resistance training program: simple exercises like squats, lunges, and even using light dumbbells. Jack paired this exercise routine with a balanced diet rich in lean protein to support muscle repair. In just a few months, Jack's strength improved, and he felt younger, more energetic. He could chase after his grandkids, go on longer walks, and carry his groceries without needing a break. Jack's story shows how exercise, when paired with proper nutrition, can revitalize your muscles and restore energy levels, even after years of inactivity. Even with the best diet and exercise routine, sometimes we need a little extra help to fill in the gaps. This is where supplementation comes in. As we age, it can be harder for our bodies to absorb nutrients from food alone, and certain vitamins and minerals may become more difficult to get in sufficient amounts. That's where supplements like vitamin D, B12, and CoQ10 can help. For instance, after Sarah changed her diet, she added vitamin D supplements to support her muscle function. Her doctor also recommended CoQ10 to help with energy production and muscle recovery. Jack, on the other hand, started taking B12 supplements to support his nerve function and prevent further muscle fatigue. Supplements aren't a replacement for a healthy diet, but they can help ensure you're getting the essential nutrients your muscles need to stay strong and healthy. The key is to work with your doctor to find the right supplements that work for your individual needs. The lesson from both Sarah and Jack is clear. To preserve and build muscle mass as we age, we need to take a holistic approach, a combination of proper diet, regular exercise, and thoughtful supplementation. When these three elements work together, they create a powerful foundation for muscle health that will keep you strong, independent, and active for years to come. Now that we've explored how diet, exercise, and supplementation can work in harmony, it's time to take action. Start by assessing your diet and exercise routine. Are you getting the nutrients and activity your muscles need? And if you're unsure, don't hesitate to speak with your doctor about potential supplements that could support your muscle health. In the next section, we'll talk about how to maintain your progress and avoid common pitfalls that can slow down your journey to better muscle health. We'll dive into strategies for staying consistent and making these habits a permanent part of your lifestyle. As we come to the end of this video, I want to leave you with something that's at the heart of everything we've discussed today. You have the power to take control of your health. The journey to maintaining and improving muscle health as we age isn't just about what we can't do, it's about what we can do. By taking small steps and making informed choices, we can keep our muscles strong, our bodies resilient, and our lives vibrant. The process of aging doesn't have to be a passive one. It's easy to think that as we get older, things like muscle loss and fatigue are inevitable, but the truth is, we can fight back. As we've seen throughout this video, with the right combination of diet, exercise, and supplementation, you can reverse muscle loss, build strength, and enjoy a life filled with more energy and independence. I want to share one more story before we wrap up. This is about Alice, a woman in her 80s who had been struggling with the effects of sarcopenia for several years. She'd lost muscle mass, her balance had worsened, and she was relying on a cane more and more. But after hearing about the importance of exercise, protein, and vitamins, Alice decided to make a change. She started walking every morning, added more protein to her meals, and began taking the vitamin supplements recommended by her doctor. At first, it was difficult. There were days when she felt tired, and it was hard to find the energy to stick to the plan. But slowly, Alice started to feel better. Her strength improved, her balance became more stable, and she felt more confident moving around. What's most inspiring is that Alice now feels empowered. She knows that her health is in her hands. She's not waiting for things to happen to her, she's actively working to keep herself strong. Alice's story reminds us that it's never too late to make a change. You don't have to wait for muscle loss or weakness to take over your life. With the right approach, you can reclaim your strength and independence, no matter your age. The takeaway here is simple: empower yourself by taking small, actionable steps towards better muscle health. Start with what you can control, adjust your diet, incorporate regular exercise into your routine, and make sure you're getting the nutrients your body needs to thrive. It doesn't have to be overwhelming, just focus on one step at a time, and you'll start seeing the benefits. And remember, you don't have to do this alone. Reach out to your doctor, work with a nutritionist, or join a community of like-minded people who are also focusing on their health. You'll find that with the right support, the path to stronger muscles and better overall health becomes a lot clearer. As we wrap up, I encourage you to reflect on the information shared today and think about where you can make improvements in your own life. How can you take charge of your muscle health? Whether it's adding more protein to your meals, committing to regular exercise, or talking to your doctor about supplementation, the choice is in your hands. The journey doesn't end here. As you continue to care for your body, you'll not only be improving your muscles but also enhancing your quality of life. Stay strong, stay active, and most importantly, stay empowered. Thank you for watching, and I hope this video has inspired you to take the first steps towards a healthier, stronger future. If you found this information helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated on more health tips and strategies to keep you feeling your best.